I'm so honored to be with all of you today. Thank you.
Yeah, let me introduce these distinguished gentlemen. My immediate left is Eddie Young, Ian Burney, and Dick Girocco.
So how did you guys feel when you saw all the planes flying overhead or the ships on fire? Like, how did that stick with you?
I was 6.5 and had just started first grade. And I was out playing in the yard that Sunday morning, and I saw some airplanes, and we had never seen an airplane where we lived. My father was concerned when he heard the shells nearby, so he pushed me back in the house, and we listened to our old Philco tabletop radio, and there was a local radio personality named Webley Edwards who kept repeating, "This is the real McCoy, we are under attack. This is the real McCoy."
It was a beautiful Sunday morning, and I got out of my house and grabbed my old hand-me-down bicycle, and I looked out in the sky, and all of a sudden I saw this Japanese Zero flying overhead. And my neighbor was next to me. I nudged him, and he was about 23 years old. I was 9, and I told him, "Mr. Milamai, that's a Japanese Zero, because we draw planes at school, and I know that's a Zero." And he said, "No, that's one of ours, Eddie." And finally he looked up and he saw the rising sun under the wings. And later, as I looked toward Pearl Harbor, when the Zero passed over, he went to Pearl, and I saw all the flak in the air. So I knew this was the real thing. In a few minutes, I saw a big plume of smoke go up, went up 200 feet. It was not black, it was red. That was the Arizona, and eventually it turned black.
How about you? How did you feel?
Well, to begin with, I was in the Navy, and I was in a squadron of PBY Catalina flying boats. We were based here on Ford Island in Hangar 54, which is the next one over from this one. What got our attention first was the noise the dive bombers were making coming down on our seaplane ramp. And we thought it was the Army Air Corps playing tricks on us. They used to come by on occasion and dive bomb us and drop flour sacks on us. So we all run out to front of the hangar and looked up. Didn't realize instantly that they were Japanese. Of course, when they released their bombs, they didn't look like flour sacks. And of course, when they pulled on their dives, they could see the red circle on the wings. Then it was a matter of self-preservation, get under cover somewhere. And there was no cover at all. So as luck would have it, they were putting a pipeline of some sort in out here between the hangars and the runway. And they hadn't put the pipe in it yet. So we all got in that, and basically we were practically underground. So basically what I remember the most was the noise and the concussions. After about an hour, everything stopped. Second wave come over after about 15-20 minutes. So when that happened, back in the ditch for another hour.
So was there any moment during that morning when you really realized that your life was going to be different?
When nightfall came, then everyone in the neighborhood was shaking and being afraid that we don't know whether they landed troops or not. And there were rumors about paratroopers going up to the reservoir and putting poison in the water. So everybody started filling their bathtubs with drinking water.
We were out of school for a couple of weeks, and I still have an ID issued by the territory on January 7th, 1942, which coincides with when I was fingerprinted and given an ID and issued a gas mask. And I carried that gas mask throughout the war.
So thank you all so much for sharing your stories with me, and thank you for your service to the country.
You're very welcome.